You know, and I know, and they know, cause we know, we go all in. You know, and I know, they know, cause we know, we go all in. I tried to
You
fix
know,
that.
you know.
Try to fix that. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna fix that. What up, people? Thank you for joining the crew. It's your boy Young FK Dizzle DC. What up, man?
Man, what's good, man? The anticipation was killing me. Sorry for the late start, guys. But we here,
He had to do a wardrobe change. It's
we
like, nah,
go
it was all
on it.
it was it
wardrobe,
was all me
wardrobe
in the
change.
video. It was all me trying to do more than I should. What's going on, man? How was your week? Reynard's in the
Man,
building.
what up, what up, what up, 410 Ben? What's good right now, Cooper? Man, I'm here, man. Happy to be here. It's Sunday. Just like we always do on the All Dressed Up podcast. Me and K Dizzle get on here and talk a little bit. We talk about a lot of things. It's funny. Somebody asked me the other day. They said, so, what do you talk about in your show?" I started laughing. I said, "Shit, everything."
Right.
You know.
Right. So you try to put you in the box. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're in rap, hip hop. You talk about social
Yeah.
issues. It's like the name of this title of this actual episode. Everything goes. We ain't leaving shit out. We talking about everything. Everything
Everything
goes.
goes.
And so let's get it out of the way. Let's get it straight up out of the way. Cause you said something in our pregame warm up. And fuck you, first and foremost. Secondly, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. We're gonna go into sports and removing Carson Wentz and sending him into the Indianapolis Colts. Not only that, but cutting Deshaun Jackson. Okay, you
Mm.
ain't heard about that, did you? They
Uh-huh.
released Deshaun Jackson. Long overdue. The dude played like 3 games last year, so
Okay.
They've been talking about getting rid of Wentz for like 2 years. It's like no, but it was a clear cut sign when they drafted a quarterback in the second round. You don't draft a quarterback in the second round when you got an all star and starting for you. That just spells doom. And he had a bad
Right.
season altogether. It was just what it's supposed to happen. So that's my quick shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know what we're gonna do next year, but I know we ain't got no Carson Wentz. We got Black Man at the helm. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. I hope we do excellent. And we're gonna move on from my sports take. You got anything on sports
I
that
mean,
you want to hit on?
don't pass it to me. I mean, obviously, I don't have much to say about the Eagles. Y'all have been trash. You will be trash. You traded Carson Wentz for a pack of envelopes and some Skittles. I mean, 2 draft
Newport
picks.
box.
Shit, not even the box. They got the soft pack, the old junkie pack. Carson Wentz for the junkie pack, but no, but seriously, I mean, back to the drawing board, y'all go. Be thankful, man. You got a Super Bowl. A lot of your fans were praying for one. You got it. You won't see another one anytime soon. Um,
Okay.
seriously.
This episode is being recorded in front of a live chat audience. Okay, so everything you say can willingly be used against you in the court of the future. So let's
What
keep that in
should
mind.
what should be used against you in the
Keep
court of
that
the
in mind.
future is that you started the episode off with them sorry ass Eagles, and you're wearing that goddamn hat. And it's not even football season. Like what? I mean,
Don't
people
care.
probably watching us right now. Like, what is going on? I don't know.
Don't care.
But
Don't care how you feel.
I mean, I got to give him credit. He loves his team. Now, my sports take is obviously I've switched gears to the NBA. I'm
Right.
looking at who's running right now for the MVP up until the All Star break. You got your boy LeBron. He's got a chance to really stand out because Anthony Davis is hurt for 2 weeks. You got
Yeah.
your boy Joel Embiid dropping the 50 and 17 last night.
How about that?
Come on, man, 50 and
How
17.
about that?
And he still got some post moves. He bangs down low, kind of like your old traditional center. And then you got, a couple of your other guys behind him, like Jokic, you could think about. maybe a Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But I'm following the NBA right now at this point.
NBA is running tough, man. You a bigger NBA fan than I am, so now I got to brush up on my NBA skills just because of that. And I'm gonna take it from NBA. And just one other quick shout out. Shout out to Naomi Osaka winning her second Australian Open. Okay, Steph Curry
Mm.
got
Yeah,
Steph
Steph
Curry. Yeah,
Curry. Steph Curry is a great star amongst a rebuilding team. Obviously we know. I don't know if you saw what happened last night. Draymond Green, this guy goes and gets teed up, gets thrown out the game with like point 0.2 seconds left. Gives the other team, I think they were playing Charlotte, gives Charlotte two free throws. They tie the game up. Then they make the
no,
shot. Yeah. Then Terry
no.
Rozier, yes, Terry Rozier hits the game winner off of them getting the ball off of the technical foul. So shout out to Draymond Green being selfish and being angry. And Steph Curry, he's a beast, man. Raynard knows what he's talking about there, but there you go.
Hey, hey, like once again, shout out to Naomi Osaka doing her thing. Okay, one of the things we before we get
Nah, talk
really
about that though. Talk
what?
about before you move on. Talk about Osaka,
Oh,
man. Talk about
hold
Serena,
on.
bro.
So so that happens all the time in sports, right? Naomi Osaka. Imagine, because you got to look at it from Serena Williams' perspective, because she knocked off
Right.
Serena Williams, right? So you got to look at her perspective. Imagine being that the gate crasher to this whole different sports, right? I'm not look Arthur Ashe first, then Serena and Venus Williams really revolutionized the tennis game and brought more people to the sport and became the example of excellence in tennis for many years. So imagine you being Serena Williams, okay, and the example you set has come to fruition. The person that idolized you, that started playing tennis because of you at a young age, has now come up in the ranks and whooped your ass
it's a
twice.
it's a good story. It's a
It is
good
a good
story.
story. It
It's
is a
a
good
it's a
story.
it's an acceptable way for, I guess, for the passing of the torch to go down. But to see Serena go out like that, obviously she left it all out there. But she's 39 years old.
Yes.
She's got so many major championships that she can't even keep up. She's got trophies that's gotten stolen from her house. She's gotten so many she doesn't even know.
She got a
People are
trophy
still.
house. She got a trophy
That,
house.
that's how you know you got a lot of trophies when they say your trophies and you don't even know you lost them.
She got
But
a trophy house. But that kind of goes with the territory when you talk about sports. I mean, I said it earlier. Michael Jordan start getting whooped. He's like, all right, I got to go. Jerry Rice, when they told him, hey, you're not going to be the number one, he retired.
right.
I don't know why they would still make him number one where he was, but
What up,
um,
Big P?
it's just what it is. What up, P? Shout out to Big P in the building. It was
Yeah, but
that
Jerry Rice was a beast, though.
I never got to ask P how much that expensive was that Super Bowl lunch that you had, because he did put that lunch up and lost that bet.
Hey, man, he
But
jumped out there. Sometimes that's what happens.
what up, Push? Bring you in there, bring you in there. All right, so look, before we get to that, we're gonna start a real quick segment that I thought was awesome that we need to do every week. This week in Black business, we want to go ahead and put it on showcase and advertise some people that are local or may not be local, but we want to support in Black businesses. And Young Hef, you up first. Who you got, my man?
All right, so this week in Black Business, we're gonna shout out Artistry by Maya. Artistry by Maya is located on
Put it up.
6333 Old Branch Avenue, Temple Hills, Maryland, Suite 300, Studio 11. Obviously, we just passed Valentine's Day, but Mother's Day is coming up. Take your lovely mom and your lady to go ahead and get her face beat,
She's
as you
dope.
ladies like to say, right? Look at that. Look at that professionalism. Great makeup and artistry by Maya, as she says in her title. So, tell her that Young Half sent you, and she will definitely take care of you. So,
Where can
look
you
at
find her?
those. Like I said, she's at 6333 Old Branch Avenue, Temple Hills, Maryland, Suite 300, Studio 11. And she's on Instagram at Artistry by Maya. Shout outs to you.
Shout outs to artists by Mike. Super dope. Super dope. And let me see. I don't even know. Do I have mine ready? I think I do. All right.
You got to make
So
sure you get it ready.
I do. I have it up. I have it ready. And it's probably unexpected when I pull it up. But mine is shout out to Monica B. Miller, aka the hospitality coach. Now, she does a lot of. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her on. Um, um, look, I don't even have it. But what's? I'm about to be real old right now. I'm about to be real old. Oh, TikTok. That's because I'm not on it. Find her on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. She does cooking and coaching. She's a small business owner. She hosts a kids cooking club on Instagram. You can go check her out, find her there. She's got great content. You know, not only just cooking, but also hosting. And look, she does these live shorts in which she tells you the best ways to set up and everything else. Good friend of mine, known her for a very good time, and she's awesome at what she does. Just check her out, man. The hospitality coach. She's doing great things. Proud of her, and look her up. Like I said, great content and just all over good people's man. So when we do this, we want to make sure that we highlight not only just people we know, but people we don't know. But but just make sure we highlight people that are good, doing good things, and bring up quality work and bringing quality things to the community. So if you in the chat have suggestions, you just hit me up, kdizzledc. You can hit up Young Hef at anywhere online. Just look at that little button right there.
There you
Young Hef
go.
streams on Twitter, to YouTube, Twitch, everywhere, Facebook, same thing, kdizzledc. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, anywhere, everywhere that you can think of. Google it, Google it, Google it. So
Check your Googles, man.
check, check your Google. Google me, baby. It's like three things in there. I got 1 star at Yelp. So, all right. Before we go down that rabbit hole we talk about,
Uh oh.
before we go down that rabbit hole we talk about, okay? Let's talk about. We going into um politics, not politics. A real quick politics.
Yeah, be
And
careful.
no. I got to get over my chest because it's kind of to me it's crazy. And this is speaking to all the parents. Okay, we know we've been in a pandemic for a year. We're continuing to go in a pandemic. I live in Prince George's County, so what they start sending out is text messages, emails, bulletins, voicemails saying that they're going to try to push in school, in person learning, right? But the way they're trying to do it is 2 days a week, in class learning without a teacher. And when they're in class, they're going to be at their desks, PPE, all that good stuff, but on a laptop at their desk without a teacher in the classroom 2 days a week. Help me out.
Yeah, I
Help
mean,
me out.
that's the time, that's the time that we're in. And at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, like, what's more important? Is the health of your child more important than the education that the child is going to go receive? I mean, obviously, we want our kids in the best schools, getting the best educations that we can. But right now, we can't even necessarily guarantee, a safe education environment for these kids. So, okay,
Yeah,
now we talk about what we do to combat that. Okay, so now you have in school, in house learning. And I've got some friends right now who have some kids that they have to pretty much monitor and make sure they're on their computer at the right time, doing their
right,
classroom schedules and such. But I mean, you really just got to ask, what do you want your child to get out of school at this point? We're obviously not going to be in the same situation like when me and you were in school, K Dizzle.
right.
So it's a different situation. You got to ask yourself, what do I want my child to get out of this educational situation? And
Well,
if it comes down to where if you can provide that education maybe in a different source or a different scenario, then so be it. But I'm gonna let you continue, but that's just kind of where I think we are at this point.
well, here's what I think they're trying to get at when they do something like this. They're trying to get at us, the kids, getting back into social interaction. Okay, because that's I was talking to my wife about this, and yeah, it's a struggle trying to keep your kids, making sure they're doing all the classwork, they're on the computers at the right time, and it's a huge strain. But it's something that we've had to do, and we should have some type of rhythm by now. Most parents, but when you still throw in that curveball of saying, "Okay, I'm gonna send them kids back to school 2 days a week," how does that work for the full time worker? Parents that both work and their kids are only going 2 days a week. How does that just makes it even tougher for them to try to figure out scheduling for somebody to have to watch their children for 2 days a week versus just keeping the whole 5 days a week like it is now. I'll say this: my kids will be home until the fall because it doesn't make any sense for me to send them for 4 months for 2 days out the week. I get it. I understand how important social interaction is with children in schools. It's hugely important. That's the main reason why you go to school is you go to develop those interpersonal skills and communication skills with all the other different human beings there in a learning environment. Because like I know, K through 12, you learn your basics, right? Math, subtraction, reading, division, English, you learn all that basic stuff, right?
Mhm.
The other 70%, you don't retain or use. Okay? When's the last time unless you're a biomedical engineer, when's the last time you picked up a periodic table of elements
Right.
and was in the store? It's like, oh, wait a minute. This antiseptic has beryllium in it. I can't use that. I'm allergic to beryllium. No, it's not going to happen. So I get that. That's the most important part. But just for the sake of saying, and I'm going to open up just to open up, nah, I'm out. My kids are staying home. My kids staying home. Some other kids can go. Y'all can do that thing. And when we start going open full time, and we feel that it's safe for our kids, then we'll send them in. But for the 2 days a week, nah, I'm not in that. Just to say that, hey, we're open. Nah, I'm not doing that. All right,
But
that's
then, but then you
go
got,
ahead.
but then you got the other side to it too. The other side is what's up, Big King. The other side is, obviously when schools go back open full force, and when everything really opens up full force,
Mm-hmm.
obviously the vaccine is going to be mandated at that point. I would assume so. So, do you force your child to get the vaccine and go back to school? Do you get yourself the vaccine and go back to work? I mean,
Absolutely.
everybody's not sold. But honestly, you say absolutely. Everybody's not all in on the vaccine yet, though.
And okay, chat. If you say one for yes, you'll take the vaccine. Two for no. One for yes, two for no. If you're in for the vaccine and getting it when it's available for you, one for yes, two for no. Yeah, we're eventually all going to have to take it to try. It's going to be a requirement, but as it stands right now, one for yes, two for no. Because I know that there is a big stigmatism, and when it first came out too, everybody I know, especially African Americans, because of the history, yes, 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 we keep beating
Right.
that drum. Say no, we're not going to take it. Right? See, no, we're not going to take it.
See, that's already
And
two twos right there.
yeah,
We ain't
it's two
talking about
twos,
Jay
right?
Z.
But
We ain't talking
and
about
that's the
Jay
biggest
Z.
fear. It's the biggest fear is that they're not is that people aren't going to take the vaccine. Okay.
But my question is, when you are a two in the
Hmm.
chat, right, and you're saying you're not taking the vaccine, but what if they require your child to be vaccinated to go back to school? Do you make your child get the vaccine, or do you provide that child an alternative source of education? Be real here.
one Hundred
That's my
percent.
question.
That's a valuable question because that's a hard thing to say at that point. It's a hard thing to say. How do you not allow your child to get the vaccine if it becomes a requirement for them to get it?
I mean, how can
Becomes a
you
requirement to get
say
it.
how can you say you won't get the vaccine, but then turn around and allow your child to get the vaccine and go back to school. That's hypocritical. I couldn't imagine anybody and not taking the vaccine, but then allowing their child to. That wouldn't make sense to me.
No, no, but just taking the vaccine. We're all going to have to take it sooner or later. There are 500,000 people that have not made it through this virus. Okay. I don't look, if there are already people that have taken this vaccine, okay, and they still here, they ain't turned into zombies yet.
Hmm.
It ain't it ain't World War Z yet. Okay. I am less fearful of what's to come. Okay. There have been you got different companies making different vaccines. You're right. Since the flu, this thing is this thing is so far. It's not just when we look at those old vaccines, we look at America testing those things on African Americans during a different period of time, right? And I get it. It's like black people dealing with the police. You already have a certain way you feel you got to deal with the police. This is on a different level. This is a worldwide level. There are no colors with it. People are dying at an alarming rate on something that is a worldwide epidemic. And this vaccine is getting shipped out worldwide. You say, yes, but there can still
But
be some things.
you're still not, honestly, bro. You're still not getting to the point to where. Do you feel like the public understands or feels like this vaccine is a solution to where everybody's going to continue to line up? Like, I get it. Like, I know some friends that are getting the vaccine. Don't get me wrong, but I still have a select group of friends and family that don't really want to be that first selection of people getting that shot.
Right, right. Well, here's the good thing about that. They ain't the first.
True, that's
They are
true.
not the first right now. They are not the first. There are over a million people, probably plus more, that have already gotten the shot, already gotten the vaccine. So they ain't the first. You ain't got to worry about being the first. Ain't no first versions of nothing. All
So
you got to do is
so
worry about getting it at this point.
so let me ask you a question. So if you get the vaccine, does it make you? I mean, obviously, people don't know if it makes you immune to COVID at that point, right?
No,
Like,
there's no full on immunity. No, I think it's going to be an ongoing thing. I think the vaccine will be like the flu vaccine. It'll come, every year, every other year, maybe a requirement.
so
Maybe a
you pretty
requirement.
much, you take the vaccine, and you still wear a mask and you still handle business accordingly the way that
Yep,
we're doing right now.
yep. Still handle
Okay.
business. Wear a mask, but then you open up. You open up because you got to open up. The biggest parts of retail industry is dying on the vine. If they don't pass this money, it's going to be a bigger problem. But the retail industry dying on the vine because people aren't outside. Our
Of
economy
course.
is based on the retail environment on every aspect. That's 75% of the spending is in that retail side. That's how the economy keeps moving. So you look, you can either take the vaccine or be in that small percentage that don't take the vaccine. I'd rather be on the side to take the vaccine and have access to do what I need to do and move where I need to move.
Well, let's go to the chat. 410 beer says let's give it a year and see what happens. Like,
You can sit in your house for a whole nother year. It's on you, player.
let's
Do
give it a
you?
year. Let's give it a year and see what happens. That's a hell of a statement in
He
itself,
hit me with
man.
that thug life. I got Witties for 2 minutes. He hit me with that thug life on the Twitch. Hey, so I'm pulling out of that. Pulling out of that. Okay. And let's go back into a bigger issue at hand. Because you
Uh
brought this
oh.
up in a major way, man. You was like, we gotta talk about this.
Why you always put it on me,
Bigger than
man?
COVID.
Say I brought it up, man.
It's bigger than COVID. It's bigger than the government right now. It's bigger than Ted Cruz going to Cancun cruise. We got to talk about Kim and Kanye.
Hold on.
Kim
Time
Ye,
out. Time out. Time out. What did you say? You said Cancun cruise.
Cancun cruise. Ted Cruz going to Texas State Senator Ted Cruz. They have no power in dirty
Mm.
water. And this
And he
man
and he had the
says
nerve to go where?
he had the nerve to go to Cancun
Mm.
and blame. him going to Cancun on his kids. My daughters wanted to go. It was a bad idea. When they found out later, released a text message, a group text message, right? A group text message saying that, hey, we're going to stay at the Ritz Carlton. You should come with us. We're planning this trip to go to Cancun. It'll be great, so
Stop
you can get
it.
on this. Dead ass. The
Stop
man,
it.
the biggest hypocrite in the absolute universe. Okay, the dude that stood up for Donald Trump in the Senate and said the election was rigged, right? During the insurrection, before and after, said, fuck Texas, I'm going to Cancun.
You
And they
can't do
and
it.
he did it.
You can't just sit there and roll
He
out of
did
your
it.
state like that. You're the senator of Texas. You were just talking like you were right. 2024. The chat's got me over here cracking up.
He blamed it on his kids though.
But
He
then he
said his
said,
kids said.
but then after he said all that though, he was like, "Hey man, last week was tough for everybody." Hey man, hey man, it was tough for everybody. I mean, I feel you, bro. Like shit. If you can make it to Cancun as opposed to freezing your ass off, then so be it. In
Not
this day and age, go ahead and scoot
not the
across the border,
I'm sorry.
fella.
He's not a state senator. He's a U.S. senator, not the U.S. senator of your
Okay,
state during a crisis. You don't leave your state during a crisis to Cancun and say, "Hey, y'all be all right. I'll be back about a week. I'm gonna holler at y'all," and then vote against vote against the stimulus package. I'm not
damn
going to
right.
help y'all. I'm not going to help you. The election was rigged, and I'm going to Cancun because y'all got dirty water and ain't got no electricity.
Let's
I'll
talk
be
about
back during election time.
real quick to the chat, right? 410 Beer says, well, what about the mayor telling people to man up? So 410 Beer is talking about that mayor of Texas that resigned. I think he was a mayor of
Oh,
Colorado
he got
Springs.
dragged, bro. He got dragged.
Colorado Springs. He had the nerve to come out on a soliloquy and say, for those who are cold, man up, go out there and figure out your
Hey,
situation. If you don't have water, do what you got to do. Stop looking for a handout. I mean, I'm talking about some
he got
harsh shit.
dragged, bro. He got dragged. See, that's what happens. That's exactly what happens when you're at a certain level and you're in. Hey, mama, you're at a certain level of money and status, and you're beyond that veil. You start looking down on the people you're supposed to serve and start saying shit like that. Oh,
Yeah,
you shouldn't get $15 an hour. You don't deserve it. No, that's too much on business. No, the minimum wage hasn't been raised since Jesus came back. I mean, God, we're still getting paid shillings. Look, the
shillings.
governor, the governor of Texas, and this is the last one. The governor of Texas tried to blame Texas' situation on the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal has been a law that they have been talking about introducing into legislation. It's not even law yet. It's not even law. So he blamed it on something that's not even real. It's just a thought, it's a conversation. The governor of Texas. These are these officials that you constantly put in office because of redistricting, and just full on just dumbness. That's the only thing I can say. Just dumbness, idiocracy. You seen that movie with Terry Crews? It's Idiocracy. I think that's
Nah,
the name of it.
but he set himself up for failure. I mean, for one, he probably never saw snow a day in his life, and
No.
now you're the mayor and you're seeing snow for the first time ever in your life, and shit's going down. It's getting real.
Oh,
Like
it's ugly.
he started losing his mind. Like
Yes.
it got real down there, man.
Yeah,
To
but
say
we're
the
talking
least.
Texas. Climate change isn't real, apparently. So we're gonna move on. We got to get back to your big thing, man. Climate change is not
Okay.
real for them. That's what they believe. Hey, Kim Ye, okay?
Mm.
Kim and Kanye. Kim
Shifting
and
gears.
Kanye West, Kardashian West,
Mm.
are getting a divorce. How do you feel?
I never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day that my man Kanye West and Kim Kardashian will be walking away from the lovely, what's the word, sanctity of,
Of marriage, the
of marriage.
sanctity of marriage.
But hey, I guess everything comes to an end at some point. But to talk about, a lot of kids later, we can't just say it was for fame because they obviously both were super famous. But this is a good marriage and divorce, I think, for both of them. I think it ran its course.
It's good. It's good marriage
Smoking
and
on
divorce.
that
Yeah, it's good
smoking on
years.
that Kanye pack. But I can't say you got to smoke on Kanye pack because those Yeezys made it into the Kardashian world. You got to think about it. When he married Kim Kardashian, this is when all of a sudden now he's not rapping every year, putting out an album.
Hmm.
He's putting out a pair of shoes every other 2 weeks, and now
He's making.
fashion,
He is
yeah.
literally selling. He is literally selling hobo wear for thousands of dollars,
But
and people are buying it.
it's
You
funny,
can't tell me it's not hobo wear. Okay, you're
yeah.
not. You're not gonna lie to me and tell me it's not hobo wear. Okay, you can find that. You can find it at your nearest hobo location on the nearest street where hobos exist. But
But let's call a spade though. Like let's not be too uh,
what's up, Tip?
let's not
Go
be
ahead. Go ahead.
too let's not hate on them too much. I mean, a lot of people have done it, not to make it a race thing or whatever, but over the years, like obviously Europeans with their fashion and their culture, like, we get a young black man into the industry that's obviously not gonna let just anybody in and just do their thing and bubble to the extent that he did. I mean, he knocked on those doors, as a creative mind and try to get his brand into Louis Vuitton, into Gucci, into
Right.
whatever other brands there were. And now at this point, the Yeezy is selling at a high rate at a very inflated profit, and his profit in the fashion industry is surpassed it in the music industry. And you think about like how the divorce like kind of hits now. Okay, cool. Like they walk away now, but who knows if he never married Kim Kardashian if he'd have been in that position.
Look, I can applaud him 100% for the doors that he broke down in the fashion industry and the things that he's trailblazed at. I can also, at the same time, say that I am a firm believer that his clothing line is trash. Okay, that's two different things. Two different things. His clothing
Okay.
line is hobo wear, but he did a great job getting to the level that he is. Okay, Yeezys, y'all can buy them all you want. I'm never buying them. They always look like dirty sponges to me. But let's talk about Kardashian and West, right?
Okay.
Let's talk about them because it's looked in two ways. Two ways. Either the Kardashians, which they already have a moniker of being destroyers of men, right? They
Okay.
destroyers of men, but you got to look at it the other way too. Are they destroyers of men? Are, but are they women who make terrible choices of men? Which one
They're
is it?
they're women who got a lot of money, and they're white women. So they have a lot of money and power out there. So unfortunately, they're preying on these black celebrities and these rappers and these ball players that have money as well. And
Hmm.
we're creating now this whole second generation of of Kardashian monsters that are about to come out. Like let's not even talk about, no disrespect to the kids, but they're still breeding this same type of I think business within a family if you think about it.
All right, so I'm gonna pose that to the chat too. Kardashians, are the Kardashians one if they're destroyers of men? Type one. If they are terrible, they make terrible choices with men. Type two. Because this is a long awaited conversation about which one is which. Because they have a track record. Every man that they have come across has been left in a trail of dust. Okay,
I'm
including
laughing at the chat, man. The chat is hilarious tonight.
including their their father mother. Okay, their
Mm.
father mother who is now a woman. Okay, is it one the destroyers of men,
Oh
or
man, I
two
know
poor a poor
you
choice
said
of men.
you
Yeah, I'm
said
not even gonna
father
repeat
mother.
that. Yeah, Big King. I'm the father, mother. He's a
Oh
man.
man.
He's a man. He's a woman now. He's a
Okay.
he's a woman now,
All
right?
right.
I need to know whether it's one or two, destroyers of men or terrible choice of men. Because name the ball players that they ran through, and I think they're about to run through a couple more.
But what was option two?
Terrible choice of men or destroyers of men. One of the two. One destroyers of men
He
and two
said,
terrible choice of men.
hey man, at the end of the day, you gotta say just like Big King Q70s in the chat, it's gonna be people like him that are gonna set themselves up for that type of experience, man. They didn't hold Kim Kardashian didn't hold Kanye West, uh, put a gun to his head and make him marry her and go through this 10-year ride or whatever they've been on. They
Very true.
mutually thought that their physical attraction and their business and personal interests matched up to where they can bond a common form of marriage, right? But at the
Right?
end of the day, it ran its course. Obviously, you got a lot of money on both sides,
Right?
a lot of
Prenup.
politics.
Prenup.
Yeah, I
He
mean, I
wrote a
don't
song
even
about it.
know. I mean,
No, he
yeah,
wrote a
but
song about it. Had to.
which
Had
one?
to have one. Huh? We
Which
want
song?
prenup. We want
Uh,
prenup. Yeah. Gold digger. So you know that's in there. But by sliding like Sub Zero. Look. so so the one thing now I'll give it to Kanye Wild Out. He became Trump's biggest fan. He started to run for president. He just started crazy stuff. He was just going left. They blame it on him being bipolar and office medications. At the same time, the wife is supposed to help keep him in track, but if the man ain't keeping himself up, there's not much she can do. The only thing that I don't know of that he didn't do is he didn't step out, which is a good thing. We don't know. We don't know what the main cause. It could be the issues at hand is bipolar and them growing apart. But one thing he didn't do was step out, and and that was the rabbit hole conversation that I wanted to go into tonight. Okay, and we talk about. All right, so let me set this up for y'all. If y'all new to it, first time, every podcast that we do, every live stream that we do, we go down the rabbit hole. And the rabbit hole is basically a conversation that'll take you in any and other directions, but it's a deep conversation that you need to talk about. Okay. I saw a post on one of the groups on Facebook and had a post of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith together taking a selfie, right? And the post said, fellas, don't lose a good woman just because she cheats on you once.
was it a
Right?
good woman or a loyal woman?
Is a real woman. Don't lose a real woman. I'm gonna look it up just to triple check because it was wild. Don't lose a loyal woman just just because she cheated on you once. Okay,
Once.
sounds
Okay.
crazy. Sounds crazy, right? So that brought me to that question, and I wrote it down. Wrote it down because it's important. Why? This is a why question. Why do people cheat in a relationship? Why do you think people cheat? They better cheat. They cheat better. I'm gonna pose that to you, Hef. Why do you think in a relationship? Why do people cheat? What's the main
So
reason you think
so
why
so
people
so
cheat?
the question is why do people cheat or why do men cheat?
No, don't do that. We can do men and women, but let's just say people in. If you want, I'll tell you what. If you want to take it to the men's side and then the woman's side, do that. Then.
I mean, there's obviously different reasons. We can rank the reasons of why men and women cheat. We can rank them on most popular to least, but obviously the
Thanks,
common
Malika.
sense. Thanks, Malika. The common sense answer is to say you're looking for something that you're lacking in your current situation. So you're going outside of your current situation or relationship to find whatever you're lacking in that main relationship. That's obviously
Okay.
the common sense, easy answer. Like, hey, I wasn't getting this, so I went over here to get it, and this and that, and this and that. So I'm gonna put it
Mm.
back to you. Let's go back and forth with different
Well,
reasons.
well, Malika says people cheat because they're insecure with themselves.
Okay.
So is that a like you said your main thing was lack. Do you say that for both women and men? You stupid, Big King. For women and men because they're lacking or they're missing something.
I guess that could be a form of insecurity. If I'm missing something and maybe I don't know, if I can't have that conversation, believe it or not, with my significant other, and I have to go elsewhere to deal with my insecurities, maybe that could be a case. Or, if you feel like you're insecure about obviously your significant other and something that they're doing, you can do something to
Hmm.
go elsewhere. But it's a good two-way conversation at that point.
It
That's
is
a
a
good
great two-way
topic.
conversation. So if you're lacking something, do you just arbitrarily go out and seek the thing you lack?
Well, at the end of the day, it comes down to what you define as cheating. Like me, and you talked about,
Ah,
and right, and that's the thing. Like we have a lot of people right now hitting the chat. The chat's going crazy. But
yeah,
what do
yeah.
you define
Open
when
your
you
mouth and say something.
do you have a universal belief of what cheating is going into a relationship, or do when you go into a relationship set the standards on, okay, this is what I consider cheating, and if you do XYZ, I feel like you've cheated.
Okay.
You can go in with the universal standard, or you can go in with the personalized, one, two, and three.
You can either get a personalized edible arrangement, or you can get a
Oh yeah.
Target birthday card. So
Oh,
what's the universal? What's the Target birthday card? What's the universal signs of this is cheating?
you call it. What do you think it is?
What do I think it is?
Yeah. What's the universal cheating?
Universal cheating is anything that that purposefully occupies your time away from your significant other because you're not receiving what you think you should from your significant other.
Say that one more time, please, because that was
All
that
right,
was a little deeper than I thought.
all right.
That I thought you were gonna take it.
Anything that's taking your time away from your significant other. Now it's got to be into a person. I'm going to say things because you can kind of generalize things in there too. But I'm going to say into another person that takes time away from you being with your significant other. Okay, that's watching porn is not cheating. Watching porn is lack of self control. That's all. That's all
Hey,
it is.
it's not
Or
cheating,
it could be a hobby.
but it can
It
be something that can damage your relationship.
look. It's a thing. Like I said, I'm not taking it to a thing. I'm taking it to a person. When you're in someone else's face because you're not getting the thing that you need or the thing you think you need from your significant other, taking that time away, to me, that's cheating. It could be. It can be. And I know men are gonna hate me for saying this. It could be meaningless conversation with another woman that you carry on a regular basis because it's satisfying to you and it's something that you think you're not getting from home.
But hold on. But see, this goes into this, but this goes into now. Seriously, this goes into the bigger conversation of double standards.
Okay, let's talk
One
about it.
hand talks to the other. Because what's good for me might not be good for you, and that can lead to a situation of, I feel like you could be cheating or stepping out, because I can go out with my guys, or you can go out with your girls and I can't, or vice versa. I've
Mm,
had friends in time tell me that they've actually, upon their engagement, verbally
mhm.
agreed to not ever being able to go out to a club with their friends anymore, because his new wife had such a insecure control issue. So I'm
That's
just saying,
different.
like,
No.
it's
That's different. You going into something way different. Let's go back. See, that's different. That's a control issue. We're talking. That's a control issue. When you got to cut your people off just to be with somebody, that's a control issue, and that dives deeper into a whole other situation that that has a whole different can of worms. What I'm saying is this: when you decide to invest your time into someone else based on the idea that they're providing to you what you think you need that you're not getting from a significant other, that becomes a problem. That becomes cheese because now you're getting fulfillment through that from somebody else. And Malika said it way back up in the chat. Open your damn mouth and say what you want, right? And that goes to the biggest part of it. Why do people cheat? Why do people cheat? People cheat because, to me, because they don't know how to communicate. And they don't know how to communicate what they want or what they're looking for, what they think they're missing.
But on the flip side, me being devil's advocate,
Come on with it.
is that a form of ass backwards communication? Like maybe I gotta send a message with my behavior and whatever you say is cheating because I can't speak on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what I gotta do to show you, hey, look, whatever you're doing to me is causing me to do this. Because that's the other percentage.
Now, see, when you say that, exactly what you just said is just a retaliatory response from and a failure to communicate. To communicate. That's a retaliatory. That's you going in retaliation. I'm not saying what I really want. You're not understanding what I want, so I'm gonna just go do this, and then you're
Right.
gonna see me doing that in response to because you're not listening. No, no, no. You said be showing off for others. Look, it's
I'm
not
gonna
a
watch
it's
that.
not a situation showing off, bro. You got to pee. Look, he got to pee. It's not a situation to show off. I ain't gonna show no empty chair there. I'm gonna bring your ass back. It's not a situation of showing off. It's just a situation not being able to communicate. If you have an issue, right? If you got an issue and you don't have that conversation with your significant other, whether it be your wife, whether it be your girlfriend, and you take the time to go out, do something else that you already know is wrong, you still in the wrong. It don't matter what you say or what you use to justify it. It's still wrong. So the biggest part of removing yourself from cheating is talking, communicating, saying what you want, opening your mouth. Um, Now, I'm going to ask the chat too. Why don't you think people do that? Why do people go out and cheat? Why do you think? Why do you think they don't open their mouths and talk to that? Yeah, I know you just in here talking shit. Why do you think they don't talk? What's the biggest thing? Because this is part of the issue on why you have those situations, right? Why do you have so many people talk about cheating? Why do you think the couples don't communicate? Marcus, why do you think they
Why do
can't
I think?
communicate?
I mean, because like the biggest thing is a lot of people don't really know at what point you can really trust someone to open up and be truthful. Like a lot of people say
Damn,
communication, right, right. A lot of people say
damn.
communication is talking and saying different things, but real communication is opening up and saying what I guess you would say when you don't really care about what anybody feels about what you're saying.
Mm, mm, mm. But, just to recap, shout out if you just joining in, and we're talking about why people cheat, uh, and and the reasons why, and we're going into the lack of communication, why people um, don't communicate that. You said something really big. It's because you got to repeat that again because I'm still trying to process it because it's so huge.
I mean, the biggest thing is you there's a blurred line between communication and I guess saying what you truly mean or feel. Like you can communicate and say certain things, but maybe mean something different, or you can communicate from the heart per se and really address how you feel about something, or really explain how explain what you stand for, as opposed to a lot of us now, especially young black men, we want to be guarded and we want to play, a lot more harder when it comes to, other women and not really opening up. and letting somebody in, because a lot of us come from a lot of stressful, upbringings or different situations, in situations like that. So
What?
it just comes down to how comfortable you can really deeply communicate, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you said, now I'm thinking about what you said. It's people have an issue with trust, right?
Yeah,
Trust
right.
in being open and being honest, and being the best
Like
word to say it is be
I might be in a relationship with you, but that don't mean I trust you.
if, well, let me say, right. But then why are you in the relationship? Why have you
That's
committed to it?
that's a good question.
Why, if you're in a relationship, you committed to it, you committed to being monogamous, and you don't trust that person, you, then you shouldn't be in that relationship. One, two, if you're not allowing yourself to be open and honest in a relationship, then all you're doing is still carrying in the baggage from the
But
previous relationships into that one.
not to cut you off, but look at the chat. Malika Shanae says that relationship is over from the start. But
Straight up.
here's the thing. But one of those people, and it could be man or female, they might know the relationship's going to be over before the start, right? But they choose to go into this situation because they know what they're going to get out of that relationship. They're going to use that person for what they want in that relationship, and then
Right.
they're going to make up a reason for it to end. I
Right.
mean, that's another
And
thing. A lot of people
that's
go
totally
into
different.
relationships not even thinking that it's going to even be a long term successful situation.
Yeah. Some You said some people need to be alone while they find themselves. Right. Some people don't know how to be alone.
Right.
Very true.
Very true.
People get into relationships and don't know who they really are, don't know what they really want. And sometimes you can figure that out through a relationship. That's not always the best way, but that's usually how most people learn. However,
But the problem with relationships, though, man, a lot of people, as I've gotten around, a lot of friends and family that I know that've been in relationships with myself too, you can almost use a relationship like a job. And as weird
yes,
as that sounds, it's like I don't like going to work every day, right? I know what it's gonna pay me. I know the BS that I'm gonna deal with. I know how I'm gonna feel when I go home, so it's comfortable. It's what I know, and that's how a lot of people play relationships out.
security, security,
Hey,
security.
I know what her, in my opinion, pros and cons are. I know what she's gonna bring to my table. I know what I'm gonna be able to get away with,
Right,
hypothetically,
right.
and honestly, both people are playing that same type of dynamic in the relationship, but
They're only
you
get.
never.
They're Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But at the end of the day, it's like you think you're in control and you're dictating, but the
Mhm.
other side's doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're only getting what you want out of a relationship. They're only getting what they want out of a relationship. Nobody's really full on happy or blown out, excited about it. But it's just a life decision that you chose. That's different. Those are the decisions that, like, parents in the 50s, 60s, and 70s did. Right. This
Right.
younger generation is young, wild, and free. They're not ready to run in and have a whole bunch of kids. They're out here living their life. A lot of them are waiting to have kids. They're planning everything out. They're putting their careers and having kids later in their 30s and their 40s and so forth. Um, and they're different. They're just different. But the crux of that, having that relationship, is the trust and being honest. And if you can't communicate, if you're not able to communicate and be honest with your significant other, that's a problem. You need to
Yeah.
figure out why you're not able to be honest with that person. Because obviously there's something that you don't like about that person, or there's something that you're unsure of about that person.
Well,
And it's
let's
holding you
add,
back from being real with them, and causing those issues of infidelity and things of that nature, because we're not talking about what we need and we're not serving each other the way we should.
well, I got a question. I got a question for the chat. Right. Let's throw this out there real quick.
We're
If
getting
you're,
deep into relationships tonight.
I know, man. I'm telling you, man. We went down a rabbit hole.
Go
But
ahead.
if your significant other is lacking something or you have a concern about something, type one if you address your significant other about that concern. Type two, if you avoid the conversation and you go outside the relationship.
Are you looking, bro? Are you a op? You a op?
That's a good question.
Because look, that's a great question, right? But you just said, hey, type one if you don't, you wouldn't
Oh.
cheat. Type two if you would.
I ain't think about it that way. That's funny. Yeah,
Type one.
that's true.
Do you
Oh
think?
well,
Look at the question from Malika. Do you think your partner is responsible for your happiness?
that's
I'm
a
gonna let
deep question. That's a deep question. Do I
you
think
go ahead, Hal.
my partner? Now the key word here in this question, right? Because I'm a great test taker. So the key word, and Big King says no. I see you, Big King. But the
Shout out
question
to Vu.
is, do you think your partner is responsible? No. No, your partner's not responsible because in order for you to be happy, you have to be happy with yourself. Obviously, you have to be content with everything about yourself. You have to be one with yourself, love yourself before you can accept anyone else's love and understand what it means, in my opinion. So as you can see, the chat is on fire, but no, I don't think your partner's responsible. Now, you can definitely choose the right partner to be conducive to your happiness. You don't want to be around somebody that's going to detract, your happiness on a daily basis. I don't think that's a person you want to be with, but I think that's common sense at the end of the day.
All right, I'm going to say yes and no.
Oh
And the reason
shit.
why I'm going to say, look, the reason why I'm going to say yes and no is because you clicked on it right there. You have to be responsible for your own happiness, right? If you're in a relationship, you also have to be happy with the person you're with,
Of
right?
course.
They have to fulfill you in certain ways and the reasons why you're in that relationship. If you're in a relationship and that person doesn't bring or generate any type of happiness along that path, if you're not happy being with that person, you can be comfortable with somebody. You can live with somebody and y'all can just exist and y'all can pay bills together and y'all can act like you cool together, go to dinner, have sex, mediocre or whatever it is, or great, and not be happy with that person, right?
Okay.
You can do all that. You can do all that. And that person can generally not make you happy, which is why people go and cheat because they're really not happy. They have everything, but they're not happy with their relationship with that person. And there's something, and it's not always something inside. It could be something within that person that they do or they don't like, and they have chosen not to accept it. 100%. And that's my take on it. Think about it. Okay, if you like this woman, you love her. You know she's beautiful. She's great. She's everything. She's a great mom. She's great kids. She does all that. She does everything you want. Is intimately, physically attracted, all that good stuff. But she just ghetto as fuck, and you can't take her anywhere, right? Can't take her anywhere, and your job has a thing where it's white collar. You doing tuxedo parties. Y'all having wine tastings at vineyards, and the execs are calling you out, and you got to bring your ghetto ass wife that goes to the caviar table looking for Vienna sausages, right? How do you're not happy with that person, right? Now, with that example, who's at fault?
You're talking about if you outgrow your significant other at that point. Because at some point you had that fall in love with
Get
the
her high, then
same.
go.
You had that fall in love with the same woman that
Makes it
walked up
worse.
for the Vienna sausages. But all I'm saying is, man, we got to figure out how to be real with it. A
Hmm.
lot of people are scared. It's just like stepping out and betting on yourself.
Right,
You love your significant other. You're in a relationship. You're benefiting something because you're in that relationship, right? You're getting
right.
something out of it. But for some reason, you want to do other things into a different situation, but still deceive that relationship. At the end of the day, you got to be a grown up and be an adult and figure out what you're lacking in that relationship. And in my opinion, address that person in that relationship. It's 2021. And if you feel like you have to step out because of something, don't be in a relationship. Don't be in a
Facts.
relationship, man. It's
I
it's a lot of
concur, young Hef.
you can definitely run these streets. There's a lot of games you can play. There's a lot of open seats you can fill. Trust me.
We are in. I had this conversation with my sister. We are in an area that the female to male ratio is like 11-1. It's 8-1 or 11-1,
Mm.
and there are a lot of married men with single women who are comfortable with being that single woman on the side. And my sister was asking me like, why do these people, Colonel? Why do these women put up with it? And that for that same exact
Why do
thing
women?
we
Why do
said
women put
earlier,
up with side pieces?
will being a side piece. Why do
Okay.
women put up with being a side piece? And I
Okay.
told her because they want that security. They want that security. They want a man that's their man that's not cheating on them. You see these fingers? You see these fingers? That's not cheating on him because he only goes one place at home. So what about the people who cheat and mess with someone less than their spouse? Some guy cheat and go get a bum when they have a queen at home.
but
That's
see, we go back to the original statement that I made too.
that's she
Malika
said.
Shanae poses a great question, but you have to ask the question: what are you going out and getting a bum for? I
How
gotta be
is
devil's
that
advocate.
bum? Is that
The
bum
bum,
doing
the
something
bum,
that the
the
queen
bum.
ain't doing?
That's it. The bum can be sorry at playing basketball, playing spades, at playing whatever else, but she might or he might be good at one aspect of the game.
She might be at the old razzle dazzle, and you just get the fizzle. What do
If
you
if
do?
if that's the type of person that you are, or seriously,
I saw if you did that.
or you can have the conversation, obviously, but it's you won't take Keisha to meet your mom.
That was pretty.
and
I wasn't
and and
expecting that from you,
and that
Malika.
and that and
Look,
that's the trump card.
that's 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 all facts. Look, exactly. You're going to get something that you think you need that you ain't getting home. The bump stroking that ego, true, 100%.
That's the hey
That's,
hey.
that's part of it too. A man feels like he got to run out there and run the streets because he's grown up with this false sense of insecurity, thinking that that's what you're supposed to do. That goes into a whole different rabbit hole. We
But I'm
talk
not
about.
gonna. But I'm not gonna sit here and give excuses for all these cheating ass motherfuckers, Kermit. At the end of the
I'm
day,
not giving excuses either. But go ahead. At the end of the day,
at the end of the day, you know,
we don't
either you
love them
gonna
hoes.
either you're gonna be straight up about it or you're not. That's what it is. You're two adults in a relationship. Either you're gonna call a spade, our favorite cliche, and address that person, or you're gonna be, conniving and go around their back because you don't have the courage to address that person and figure out what's wrong with your relationship.
But let's
It's
get
not fair.
look. But let's be honest. They're not. We're not grown ass adults. Okay. We grew up, but we still those same college or high school motherfuckers that are as immature but with bigger bank accounts and houses and other dumb shit.
But at some
Okay, that
point you
still
gotta
haven't
but
grown.
at some point you gotta respect your significant other just
You
enough to have that
yes.
to be able to have that conversation. And if you
Yes, you
can't and
do.
if you can't have that conversation, or if you don't have that level of respect, then you never really cared about that person anyway. 45 and new 22.
You didn't care about the person. You only cared about what they provided. Look, I know. Is that Justin tight pants? Is that
Big King
what,
Hugh
what,
70. I'm not going to
Big
expose anybody on the chat tonight, but he's hilarious.
Loose
He is
Lips?
hilarious.
No, but if you if you are stepping out, if you doing that, man, you said the biggest thing is addressing it. The biggest thing is addressing it. Making sure that you address the situation at hand. If you're not talking about it, then you don't really change it. Have your cake and eat it too. Some folks they want to see if they
Exactly.
still got it. Yeah,
See,
you
that's
got an
the
element of
OG.
folks
See,
out there.
that's the OG response. Have
That's
your
the
cake and
OG
eat it
triple OG
too.
response, right?
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, if you if you got a good piece of cake, you got a really good piece of cake, and you getting everything you need, because there's always something. There's always something. And if you're terrible at communication, if you're terrible at communication, then you step out because you're scared. It's entitlement that makes a person not respect their partner. Men often feel like they deserve to have it all. They don't feel like they need
Hey,
to sacrifice it all. You are a man hater.
you want to pull Big King in?
No, I'm not pulling him. I'm not pulling him in.
All
Mark
right.
Nebo, you're a man hater. I love you. No,
What did
it's
Mark
true.
Nebo say? What did he
He
say?
said it's entitlement that makes a person not respect their partner. Men often feel like they deserve to have it all. They don't feel like they need to sacrifice it all. They
Yeah,
don't.
but that's not just but you know what though? I'm not gonna let Mark Nebo just crap on men either because that's a female trait. And I'm not
Who's
gonna
in the
just
background? That's right.
yeah. Of
I
course
like
a
Mark.
young woman would
All
say
the
she
women
likes
that's
Mark.
gonna like Mark right now, Mark.
But
Oh my God.
a man and a woman can have a sense of entitlement. Let's not do that.
Yes.
So men
Yes.
often feel like they deserve to have it all. That's definitely not the case. Women often feel like because they've come up on getting married and watching the movies of getting carried off in their chariot with their knight in shining armor. Let's just be fair about and I'm not trying to get in trouble tonight, chat.
So it's too late.
Okay.
We the rabbit holes. I know you. I know what you're doing. I know why I'm getting those answers from you tonight, Hef. I
Right, right.
know. I know.
It's
If it was a totally different
politics
element,
as usual.
and she
Sheesh.
and there was restricted access to the podcast, it'd be a completely different conversation. But no, right, right. Voodoo said, I said,
Married men act so different when you see him in
"Eh,
public, right?
what?
I said
Which,
married men act so different when you see him out in public.
oh, hold on, hold on, hold on.
You see him
Oh,
with their
wait a
lady,
minute.
married man be like, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Kermit? Yeah, the weather nice, you know.
Hey, what's going on, bitch?
See
No,
him
Mark
without
said
his wife.
Mark said something big, and that's a big thing to say. He said, "Okay, maybe that's just what made me cheat when I did. I'll own
Oh.
that.
Well,
That's
see
why I
that
did it.
see,
I worked on
but
that
see, a lot of people aren't a man like Mark Nebo.
exactly. They
See,
aren't man enough to be honest about it,
but see, that's being accountable, and that's a whole
right?
different level right there. Because once you make it to accountability, you can have a conversation about anything
Yep.
at that
And
point.
that's going to the core of what we're talking about: being honest with yourself and being honest with your spouse, and being able to have that conversation and say, the only reason why you do it, the only reason why you do it, okay? And I'll go against that a little bit, Mark, because the reason why you do it is because not because you feel like you got to have it all. It's because you feel like you you not getting everything you want from home. And then we look at that and say, okay, here's a mountain to climb, and it's open and it's accessible. Let me climb it. That's why we go out and do it, right? You can't see it because he's on Facebook, man. So that's why men go and do it. They feel like there's something else out there more or better. But if you're getting everything at home, you ain't looking. That woman can literally run up to you in a trench coat, ass naked, and you say, "No, ma'am, I love Jesus. Thank you for your time." I'm telling you, if you're getting it all at home, that man ain't going nowhere.
But see, here's the funny part, right? So we got a chat that says that is so true. A lot of men can't stand up and be honest, just live lies until called. So lie. A lot of women can't either. Like
Oh, oh, oh,
you gotta be
ooh,
you gotta be honest. You
ooh.
gotta be honest here because over the last 20 years, I think the tables have turned. I think, and I'm definitely not trying to open up this can of worms, but I,
Too late.
but I think we can all kind of honestly agree if we had to vote. All right, chat. Don't be scared, chat. I want to see your ones and twos, chat. If you think it's easier for men to cheat, type one in the chat.
Oh my God. Let me type a
If
one
you
right now.
if you think it's easier for women to cheat,
I'm gonna type a one.
type a two in the chat right now.
I'm gonna type a one. I'm gonna type a one. No, don't say that, Mama Hef. Don't say that. Men do more cheating. That is totally untrue. Women just don't get caught.
We got a two. We got a
Women
one.
just
We
don't
got
get
a
caught.
two. We got a two.
It's easy. It's easier. Where we at? How many
Another
counted up?
two.
Easier for women. 100. See,
We have
easier for
three
women.
three
You
twos
know.
and two ones.
You know what? it's. You know what? It might be easier for women because men slinging it all day, every day, and they don't care. I got to give it to them. They don't care.
And then what the hell is three?
You know, King is part of that alphabet crew. You can't even pay attention to him. Ooh,
don't
I've
don't be
done it.
out
Oh,
don't be going too deep out here in the chat
I've
exposing
done
your
it.
don't be putting
Yes.
your skeletons out here in the
No,
chat, man.
no. Do it. I've done it. Now, no. Let's talk about it. No, but that's a good question. Is it easier for men or is it easier for women?
Right,
And
that's my point.
it looks like the women. Let me count it. I gotta go back and count. 1, 2, 3. It's the women. It's the women, bones and all. Ooh, Lord.
I guarantee
Mm.
I bet any amount of money. I bet any amount of money. The conversation between a woman cheating and a man cheating is much more longer for a man cheating and his explanation than a woman. I can bet
Say that
any amount of
again.
money.
Say it. Wait, I gotta process that. I got women are better at cheating.
A man cheats. Look at
It
Malika
ain't a
Shanae.
fair
Look,
question.
look,
Who?
women are better. Who, right? If a man cheats, he's gonna
Yeah.
have to come out with some storytelling shit since Biggie. If a woman cheats, she gonna say three words. She gonna probably say, "All right." A man cheats, it's gonna be, well, look, I came around to the store, and come on, man, you already know how it's gonna go.
Look, a woman can have a side guy for 10 years and then stay in a woman. Yeah, a man can have a side piece for 10 years and then stay in this lane. That's. I know too many conversations. So I think we already know the answer, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If a
I
man
think, but
cheats
I
on a
think, but
woman,
I think that's a testament on. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think that's a testament on how shitty dudes are. She says a woman can have a side guy for 10 years and he'll stay in his lane because he gonna be right in his hiding spot, and,
a man can have
and he ain't gonna get caught.
a whole family, a whole family. Oh man. So if okay, that's kind of I'm not even gonna ask that. Who takes it? Who you can't even ask that question. Who takes it? Who takes it worse, men or women, when they find out?
Nah, that's a tough question.
That is
That's
tough. You
gonna.
can't answer because that's individual. So let's not even go there. Let's stay on stay on the left side of the fence. Stay on the left side of the fence. Um,
All right, let me ask you this question. I got one for all the chat and you. This is a good question.
Go ahead.
Who's first to reach out to the cheating person? The guy or the girl?
Who? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
If I know you're cheating with my girl, who's first to reach out to that person? The guy reaching out to the guy who's cheating with his girl, or the girl reaching out to the girl who's cheating with the guy? Who's first? Who's first? Who's
Mm.
first? Who, if they have access to that
Hey,
person and
that
they know
goes back.
who it is, who's going hard first? The guy or the girl?
That goes. That goes. That's basically
I think the female's
goes.
going way
No,
harder.
no, no.
The
It's
female's
based
going
on.
way harder. Come on, K Dizzle.
No, I am. Look,
So
that
you
depends
telling me
on.
right
No,
now,
no,
if you got a clean shot at the dude that you know your proverbial girl's cheating on you with, You're gonna go smack at him off the break?
No, I'm saying this. That question 100% depends on whether the woman's name is Sharkeisha or Robin. And it depends if the man's name is Marcus or Marquell. Okay? It just depends. It depends.
You gotta
Because
elaborate.
Starkeisha is for the smoke. Marquell is for the smoke. Marcus may not be for the smoke. Robin may not be for the smoke. Okay. Robin is going to get a glass of wine, call up
Everybody
her
die.
girls, and have a waiting to exhale moment. Right. Marcus is going to find it. Marcus is going to find another girl to go up underneath, the one that's been waiting on the side, or he ain't gonna run his boys. That's the difference. The man, if the man find out if the woman cheating, he ain't telling nobody. Who he telling? Are you going? Are you going to say, "Hey, yo, I just found out my girl cheating on me, dog"?
Man, men talk a lot too.
We do talk a lot, but if men are too prideful. If they don't have that type of person in their life, they're too prideful. They ain't gonna have that conversation. They're not. They
Okay.
just gonna say, "Oh, nah, man, we broke up, man. I got tired of her for real, for real." You know what I'm saying? It was over. It was over a long time ago. We just waiting for it to happen. Nah, motherfucker, she cheated on you. You cried in the car and you decided to cut it off, or she left. One or the other. She left with Winston. He ain't gonna have that conversation. Most of them not gonna have that manly conversation with another man because most men don't have that type of person in life, or they're too prideful. But the woman, like I said, the woman gonna have a whole waiting to exhale moment. They're gonna have a wine tasting in the basement with the women. They're gonna talk about how much that nigga he a dog, this, that, and the other,
Okay,
and go all
okay,
out or go have a party or whatever.
okay.
Who
But
gonna
look at the
call their
last.
boys?
But look at the
Yeah,
last
Marquell
comment.
is.
But they're gonna
He gonna
call their
call and
boys.
roll up.
Okay, but who calls who first? Do you call your boys first, or does she call her girls first? 9 times out of 10, she's calling her girls. The
100%.
guy, the guy's not gonna call their boys and be first
No,
up to throw
until
his story out
until he
for
talked to her.
Friday night, right? But he don't
Until
want
he
to be.
talked to her.
But he don't want to be Friday night's news before everybody goes out and say, hey, fellas, before we all go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I got cheated on tonight. Can y'all help me out?" And then everybody gonna be like, he don't want to
Go.
be that. He don't want to be that guy.
You
But
don't
the
want to be that guy.
but the girl can say, hey, girls, can y'all come over? I got some ice cream. I got some weed, some edibles. We're gonna sit around and watch a movie, and we're gonna talk about these motherfuckers tonight. That's exactly
Oh, we're
how
gonna talk about how much of a dog he is.
you know
Hundred
how it
percent.
go.
We're gonna we're gonna rip up his Jordans, his Tims. We're gonna do everything. His stuff gonna be in the street, and it's gonna be in trash bags. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna bag the clothes up, find out where the girl live. Okay, ride over their house in the caravan with the trash bags full of clothes. Right? They're gonna sell the PS5. they're, gonna sell, they're gonna sell the PS5 for $300.
Shit, for
Spike.
about for about for
He said,
about
look,
one
look at your
sixty.
face.
For
Look at your
about
face when I
one
said that.
sixty.
They're gonna sell it for 300 out of spite. Right?
Wait, exhale. Why somebody say Judge Joe Brown?
They're gonna do all the crazy stuff and go about it.
I can hear
But
Judge Joe Brown saying right now, $300 for your PlayStation 5. Shit.
$300? That's highway robbery. Why you do the
Three
man like
hundred
that?
dollars, three
Judge for the
hundred
plaintiff.
dollars, $300, and you didn't get a PlayStation 5.
So
That's my
let me
terrible
come
Judge Joe Brown impression.
let me come up for it. Let's come up for air, man.
Yeah,
Why do
yeah.
people cheat? And I think we got to the crux of it was because not only just the failure to communicate, but the failure
Insecurity,
to be honest with your significant other. If you're not
lack of
honest with your significant other, and your relationship is not that open, you need to rethink why you are where you are and with who you are. Because if you're
gotta
not able to be that far open with the person and say, "Hey, this is what I'm having a problem with. We need to talk about it," then that's an issue. Now, if you say that, you try to have that conversation, and they say, "I'm not talking about it," or "I don't want to talk about it," that's totally different. But if you're not expressing yourself and saying what you need and expressing what your needs are and your issues are, and we're not working through them, that's part of that is on you. That doesn't give you a right to step outside of the commitment that you decided to make. 100%. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not saying that it's not unforgivable, but you have to, if you do like Mark did, you have to learn from your experiences and become a better person from it. You have to be able to take those situations and grow from it. 100%.
This this guy sounds like motherfucking Rev Run at the end of his show when he was typing in the bathtub. But nah,
The
but nah,
demolition music.
but nah, but good information. No, seriously, all jokes aside, man. And it really comes down to being able to look yourself in the mirror.
Hmm.
We all have to sometimes take a moment, look at yourself in the mirror, and figure out what you really want and what can you do for yourself.
Hmm.
We got to stop putting the onus on other people to fix our problems. That's the biggest
Yep.
thing.
And and look, Mama, have that goes all those sayings. Gotta have the cake and eat it too. Test the waters. Gotta sow your seeds. Got
Oh, she a OG.
a
She's the
man,
OG.
a man being a man. That's all bullshit. Those are excuses for bad behavior. That's all that is. Excuses for bad behavior that you would no longer accept as that being the status quo. Fuck that. Because if you really truly love somebody, you care for them, you already know what's going to happen if you do what you do. The same way that you know, as a man knows in his right mind, that if he hits a woman, it's the wrong thing to do, right? He knows what the consequences are. She could get hurt really bad, and his ass can go to jail, and and her family could beat the shit out of him before he goes to jail. He knows that. The same way, if he goes out and cheats on her, she finds out she's going to be hurt, and then her big brother gonna whoop his ass too, and his all his clothes gonna be in a trash bag at the other girl house. We already
Right,
know that.
right.
If it's bad behavior, and look, Mama, it is.
That
You
is
don't
bad
have to
behavior.
deal with it. Right, right. It is bad behavior. You don't have to deal with it. But if you're in a relationship and you're committed to each other, then you have to, if you want to work through it, you have to ask yourself what went wrong and why we did what we did, and how can we move on from that. How can we learn from that? How can we grow from that? And how can we build with each other again if we want to continue this relationship, if we feel like there's more at stake, um walking away than there's more at stake of losing together than walking away, if it's more beneficial for us to stay together. So that's what I say. Look, cheating ain't the answer, but it's also not the end. It's not the answer, but it's also not the end. So don't take it as, oh girl, he cheated on you, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. No. Have a conversation. Talk about it, be honest with each other. Or he cheated on me, have a conversation. Men take it 10,000 times. I know from every man that I've ever talked to, if they find out their woman had cheated on them, they are broke to the inside. I mean, they're broke to the core
and,
of the core.
and that goes back to what we talked about. That goes back to the lack of communication because if if
100%.
if I have the communication and I'm told directly of why you stepped out, maybe I can as a man I might not understand it eventually. I mean
Hmm.
immediately, but over time I might say, you know what? She came to me as a woman and she told me straight up this is why she stepped out. And maybe as a man I should address if I feel like I have to, or I could move
Right.
on and just say that she wasn't for me. But that's what
Right.
adults do. You know
That's
what
what
I'm saying?
adults.
That,
That's
that
what
that's what
grown-ups do.
adults do. And that's the thing about, with me and Kate Dizzle, like we're gonna talk about a lot of different topics, man. And each week when you guys join us, we're looking to have a lot of fun. Let's talk about some different things. Obviously the chat's fun too. Give us your opinions, shout us out, hit us up on our show on our socials so we can definitely figure out what you guys want to talk about on a weekly basis. So it was a fun show.
Yeah. Look, we are streaming live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, everywhere where you can virtually see us. That's my stuff, kdizzledc. If you young have streams everywhere, you can find us all over the place. Look, we're growing, and the only way we grow is with your help. We need your help. We need to get the word out. Like it, share it, tell people about it. We're going to be on Sundays at 9. Probably go for right around this time. I think we did like an hour and a half. We're going to
Yeah,
keep it simple. We're going to make sure we stay engaged, interact. We're going to talk about real stuff because that's the only thing that matters. If you ain't learning from it, from the real stuff, and you're not you're not growing from it, we're not doing anything. We're staying in the same place. So,
that's it.
look, man, we're going to wrap this up. Shout out to the chat, everybody that came through, even Loose Lips, who was wilding out in the chat on some crazy stuff. Mark, everybody for the honesty and their participation. We love you. We don't know. Maybe Loose Lips might come next week. We're gonna see what's what.
Uh oh.
Gotta
Uh
rein
oh.
him in before he do some crazy.
Dun-dum,
Yes.
dun-dum. That's that Debo. Dun-dum. Tuck your chains, man. Tuck your chains.
Y'all go, y'all go see. Y'all go see it if he come through next week, man. We ain't getting people your outro help.
Hey, man, it's always fun with this, man. K Dizzle, one more time. All Dressed Up podcast. It's just us talking every week about things we talk about every day. It's all dressed up. Come have fun. Hit us on our socials so we can talk about what you want to talk about because we're definitely not afraid to go in. And thank you again. And we appreciate you. Shout out to Full and No Beard. Have a great weekend. We love you. Take care.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. On that note, we out. Love y'all. And and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in. We know, and I know, they know.